Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This is day 5 of the Cat's Tail Gathering Tournament. And for game 1, we are going up against FiNaLy again. Official Nahida Linie. Again because this is like my 7th time facing this in this tournament. Why is everybody using this deck? I don't get it, but okay. So in the first round, I'm just going to use Raiden's skill, and then switch to Shenhe, and then use Shenhe's skill. And of course, they are just going to do what every FiNaLy player does, which is use Fisher's skill, then switch to Nahida, and use Nahida's skill.
I will do as you command.
So we're both kind of doing the same thing, just different characters. That is not the same thing at all. I find it kind of a waste that they're using their Gilded Dreams and Liar's Song like this. They're just using it to fix their dice, and not really for the extra dice at all. That's why I say it's kind of a waste. So now in round 2, I'm just going to use Shenhe's normal attack followed by her burst. That's the idea anyway. But it is very possible for Nahida to be able to one-shot Shenhe here. She could maybe use Star Signs, use her burst, or maybe use like, I don't know, Tandoori Chicken, and she would kill Shenhe as well. But it's not too bad if she does, which she is going to here, because this is a replay and I know what happens. Because I haven't lost yet, which I can use on Raiden. And that's why I saved that Electro die from earlier, so that I can use Raiden's burst here. If I didn't have I haven't lost yet, then this would actually be a pretty bad scenario for me. Now I spent my last die to switch back to Raiden, because their summons are going to deal 5 damage. Ours will deal 2 thanks to Quicken, and then this cat, what is it even called? Grin Malkin Hat will deal 3. So I kind of wanted them to waste that extra 1 damage on Raiden instead. And besides, Chongyun is much more important here. I also have Fresh Wind of Freedom, so maybe I can just like get a quick double kill and be out of here. You might have noticed that I saved Fresh Wind of Freedom in my starting hand because this is a pretty... I knew this would be a pretty fast-paced game, and I would definitely need Fresh Wind of Freedom near the end, so I just chose to save it in my starting hand instead.
Let's get this show on the road.
So now I can, since I have an extra die, I can do 2 attacks here, and that's just barely enough to get a nice double kill with Fresh Wind of Freedom here. They did have 0 dice, but against Gilded Dreams you never want to take any risks. So I used Fresh Wind of Freedom to make sure they can't attack again. And that's GG. Now for game 2, we are going up against Miu, Mona Eula Wanderer. And I love this matchup, mainly because it's an instant win for me. And why is that? And that's because of this, Joyous Celebration. In fact, it is the sole reason I have Joyous Celebration in this deck. I never use it against any other deck unless the situation just calls for it. But I never keep it in my starting hand against any other deck, except Miu. Because against Miu, Joyous Celebration equals free win. And it's kind of because of that that many people are starting to, not starting to, but stop using Miu, because it's just so easily countered by this. Also, they just started with 2 normal attacks. I have no idea why. If you have 2 normal attacks, that means you have at least 2 Hydro dice, so you could have just tuned one of your cards to use Mona's skill. I don't get it, man. But okay. Whatever floats their boat. So now if they actually use Eula to freeze me, I would just switch to Shenhe, not Shenhe, Chongyun, and then I'll let Chongyun do his stuff. But more often than not, they will actually switch to Wanderer, because they don't know I have Joyous. And now they'll use Wanderer's skill, equip some stuff, and they'll be so happy getting their first slow. They'll be like, wow, I'm winning. No, you're not. Joyous Celebration. And then they have nothing left to slow. And now all they can do is hit Chongyun for 4 damage, like a peasant. Imagine only dealing 4 damage. I say as I deal 3. Now they switch back to Mona, of course, but I'll just use a skill. it's important that I use the skill here because now Raiden's summon will actually KO Mona, and then Shenhe's summon will get to hit either Wanderer or Eula. Well, of course they'll put out Eula because if they put out Wanderer, then he'll just die instantly. But now it's 8 HP versus 18 HP, and none of us have any elements on each other, so this is just completely winning for me. So much so that I just concede. GG. Now for game number 3, can you guess what deck we're going up against? Wow, it's FiNaLy again, who would have guessed? But anyway, this guy is not your average player. At the time of this battle, this duel, he was number 2 on the Asia leaderboard, so yeah, pretty insane. But anyway, of course we're gonna do the same thing again. If it works, if it ain't broke then don't fix it. So I'm just gonna do the same thing again. But this time I actually don't get like... Okay, actually I do have enough dice for Shenhe, so I do switch to Shenhe because I can use the 2 Pyro dice on Blizzard Strayer, and then I can use the 2 remaining dice on her skill.
Unleash.
The only bad thing about this is that I didn't get to use the Sealy, but I guess it's fine, I can use it next round. So here again, just like the previous game, I'm not worried about Shenhe dying because I haven't lost yet for Raiden. So first I start off with a Sealy, then I use Moon Piercer, another Sealy,
Unleash.
and I use a skill, hoping to use her burst here. And now here this guy is better at using his Gilded Dreams, because here he's actually fixing his dice and also getting more dice at the same time, unlike the previous guy whose extra dice were not put to use at all. And here's where it goes downhill because they have gamblers already on Linny.
The campaign begins.
And now they have 3 summons, and this is pretty painful. I did get to use I Haven't Lost Yet, but
Here comes
now Raiden is gonna get hit. And then the Seed of Skanda hits. And now it was at this moment that I realized I messed up, because now they have Bewildering Lights, dealing 5 damage, and now their summons deal just enough damage to kill all my characters. So yes, it was kind of a miscalculation when using Shenhe. I should have kind of seen this coming. I mean, after Shenhe dies, of course they'll put out Linny, right? But oh well, GG. Now in this 4th game, we are going up against Bennett, Station and Linny. I actually faced this deck a few times while I was practicing, and I figured out that the way to beat it was just to keep Fresh Wind of Freedom in my hand, and then start on Raiden. And okay, I say that, but I start on Raiden every single time. I mean, like, I'll start on Raiden, use her skill, and then use her normal attack as well. Basically rush her burst. Unfortunately, my dice weren't as accommodating, but I don't really care. I'm just going to tune all my cards, because that's what I'm gonna do to win. I start off with a normal attack anyway. Gonna see what he'll do first.
Get out of here.
So of course they start on Bennett. They're just gonna rush Bennett's burst as well. I tune 2 cards and use Raiden's summon. Now I'm actually surprised to see them use Libin here, because like normally people would just rush Bennett's burst, but perhaps they are afraid of Adeptus Temptation on Raiden, because I will go first, and if I had Adeptus, then Raiden's burst can one-shot Bennett. The reason I think they were scared of that is because here they actually switch to the Station with fast action as well, which also overloads me off of Raiden, so neither of us gets to burst now. Now of course I can't switch back to Raiden since she'll just die instantly, so I just attack with Shenhe straight away, bringing the Lightning Rod to Shenhe as well, so that again Raiden won't die. And just finish off with a normal attack, and next round I'll just use Shenhe's burst. Now here, again, they keep switching to like in weird ways. I don't really know what they're doing here, but since I have Adeptus Temptation, I'm just going to use it on Linny, bring him down to 2 HP, and it should be pretty good for me from that point onwards.
By ordinance divine.
But surprisingly, I have no idea why they just ended their round. They didn't even run out of time or anything, they just ended their round. I'm not sure if it was just their way of conceding, because you're not really allowed to concede in this tournament. So maybe this is their way of conceding faster.
Could it break?
Like, it feels a bit too early to concede. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. Now for the 5th game, we're going up against the same guy again. But this time he doesn't just concede super early. He actually plays the whole game out and it's a normal game. So this is, I guess, more interesting than the previous one. So again, I'll just start on Raiden, use a skill here, use her normal attack. And since I got both CTGS, I'm just gonna put down both CTGS as well. Fantastic. Now I'm hoping that they don't equip anything here so that I can use Opera Epicless. Like please, please, and they did not equip anything. So I use Opera Epicless. And here I actually only use one CD because I wanted to equip Moon Piercer on Raiden. The reason for this is so that their Opera Epicless can't activate, whereas mine can. Unfortunately for me, they fast action switch to station here and end their round first, and I don't have any more dice to switch my characters, meaning that Raiden will just die instantly next round. And this time I haven't lost yet to help me. So okay, this is pretty bad, but we can still kind of salvage it. So I start off with a CTGS and then use Shenhe's skill. And now combined with Woven, I can have 6 dice, so I can use a normal attack followed by Shenhe's burst. Although that would require me to tune 3 cards, but at this point I kinda have to go for it since they managed to get Raiden already. I need to go, I need to rush this. So I tune Blizzard, and I tune Strategize, and then I use Shenhe's burst. And it's not like I would be too starved on cards since CTGS is going to give me 3 cards here. And of course I just end my round. So do they. And now here I'm quite lucky to have Shattering Eyes in my hand, so I can actually one-shot Linny here, bringing me back into the game actually. Because the faster you kill these characters, the better, because otherwise they'll heal up with Bennett's burst, and it's just free value for them. So of course I use Gamblers and Fresh Wind of Freedom as well. So this means they have to put out the station, since if they put out Bennett, he'll just die instantly. Now I use a skill, and I know that they want to use station skill to one-shot Shenhe here, because they think I have no more dice left, but actually Chongyun still has dice. So I use I haven't lost yet, use a skill, and now it's just Bennett, or actually I use a normal attack, because I wanted to save my IC Pearls. And they think they're good, they're winning here, but I use Woven, heal up Chongyun, and now they can't one-shot Chongyun anymore, so that's GG.